swipe. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Swerving, making plays, cool Ferrari red. Never out my zone, touchdown in my hands. Only fam around me, I can't have no friends. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. Ever since I was a teen, had prices on my head. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon Says. Yeah, ballpoint on the beat, ballpoint make them dance. Yeah, we came up from nothing, now we're making plans. Yeah, just picked up some bands, Tell her ask it questions when I come again. On the run like a runaway. Only way is the money way.
The UFC has come back to the UK and, well, it may as well be anywhere in the fucking world because I still didn't manage to get tickets. Who knew there were so many fight fans in the UK? I struggle to find anyone to watch fights with me, but maybe that's because I'm a massive wanker. I do have a video coming for you next week that's all about what I did instead of going to UFC London, but I wanted to make a quick video for you today that's more about the fights and less about my pain and misery. Well, about one fight actually. The one I am most looking forward to is Mokaev's debut into the UFC. Yes, I might be biased because Dagestani-born Mokaev fights out of Manchester, and we don't often get to say, this guy's gonna make us proud.
I just wanna lie, yeah, not a little bit, nah. Who did it? I just wanna lie, I just wanna lie.
What I find super interesting about Mokaev is his journey to the UFC. So I'm not talking about the adversity that he faced as a refugee coming to England at the age of 12, although I will. I'm talking more specifically about his career path and the decisions he made that were entirely within his control. Most fighters, try and fast track, get to professional as soon as possible, because that's where the money is. But Makhachev knew that experience is what makes champions. Instead of sprinting towards the UFC, he chose to take his time and build his future career on firmer foundations. He knew that the amateur experience is vital in not only creating a more well-rounded fighter, but giving him all those other experiences that come together to affect performance. Mokaev didn't only rack up more shin to face time, but also got to travel to different countries, experience different events, be put under different pressures, and even the kind of little things like how each organisation will do medicals, how they put their production together, and different weight cuts as well.
Run like I don't got any stake. Yeah, run it up. Yeah. Went from MIA to LA on the run like I don't got any stake. Yeah, I went from LA to the A on the run. You can tell where I stay. Yeah, counting all this paper I chase, no sleep, call me jet lag, baby.
To get this experience, Mokaev chose to compete in the IMMAF World Championships, which he won twice. IMMAF is the international governing body for amateur MMA. They're looking to solidify and unify the sport, bringing in clear and consistent rules and making sure that the athlete's health is the top priority.
2020 spent 100. Money come and gone, let's get straight to it. Been a businessman, it's bigger than music. Eyes on a new building with like 8 units. What's for sale, I might buy it all. Don't wanna put in work, now you just wanna ball. Got Louis bags with no money in them. Bigger the lie, the harder they...
And during this extensive amateur run, Makhachev put in the work. He was fighting 4 or 5 times a week as an amateur, coming into his pro debut with a 23-0 undefeated record. So now, even a very active pro career feels like a bit of an holiday, I can imagine. And he does plan to stay very active as a pro, with a goal of 4 or 5 UFC fights this year. Alongside those 2 world championships, Mokaev is 2-time European champion, 6-time British wrestling champion, 2-time ADCC British Open gold medalist, and 1-time European Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. So following on from all that experience, Mokaev turned pro in 2020, fighting under the Brave banner, and came out, as he went in, undefeated. Have you seen that clip of the Kardashians going around at the moment where they're like, people just don't seem to want to work hard these days?
I have the best advice for women in business. Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
That's so true.
You know, like they've forgotten all their privilege for a minute. But it is tempting for anyone to want a shortcut to their goals. But then when you get up there, wherever there is for you, are you going to wish that you'd got that experience in the lower leagues that will really kind of amplify your success? Yes. Mokaev is very young, so he didn't take his time, so to speak, but he put in the hours, and it's going to make all the difference now that he's in the UFC, facing the toughest competition there is. Though he is so young, Mokaev has faced a lot of adversity in his life, and he certainly brought that Dagestani warrior spirit, discipline and values with him when he came to the UK. He was only 12. He was in a new place, he couldn't speak the language, and he found himself coming up against conflicts with other children, because, you know, kids are dicks. And at such a young age, he had this huge responsibility on his shoulders that the other kids just didn't have to worry about. He knew that if he started fighting, he ran the risk of losing his and his father's legal status in the country. Imagine having to be so considered and responsible and logical at 12. How's your brain even formed at that age? No. The logic bit is probably like that, and then the emotion bit's probably like, I don't know, science. I was dumb at 12. I once fell off a swing, stood up and let it hit me in the face. Couldn't make rational long-term choices. But Mokaev started to wrestle so that he didn't get into fights in the streets. He says he believes his past has made him mentally stronger, as well as more calm and humble, and more able to win. At UFC level especially, skills start to even out, and Mokaev's mentality is his advantage. He believes his past means he's always going to want the win more than his opponent, and he believes his resolve is stronger no matter what weight cut issues, injuries, general barriers come his way. He just has a mentality that no one can beat. Some people have to overcome adversity that comes their way. Some people seek it out. Mokaev has done both, and that makes him a special kind of person and a special kind of fighter. There's little control over the former, but we can all seek to do things the hard way on purpose, stop cutting corners, and then find that the hard becomes not so difficult after a while. Mokaev wants to use this adversity to inspire younger generations to go for their dreams no matter what comes their way. His message is you, yes you, can achieve anything without huge support, despite your background, just through hard work. And he plans to give back to his community in the near future by setting up a charitable foundation. Which brings us on to his next ace card. Flying ace. What's the phrase? I don't know. Next thing what makes him good, cuz. In the Dagestani warrior video, I talked about faith and how it can help to mitigate doubt if you believe 100% that you were put on this earth to be a champion. But that faith doesn't have to be of a religious variety. Mokaev is Muslim, but I've never heard him talk about the link between his faith and his fighting and his success, so I ain't about to make assumptions. What I do know is he is fighting for something bigger than himself. He's fighting to make his dad proud, to provide for his family and make sure that they don't have to struggle, to show his dad that he raised him right and he did something special and churned out this special person, this exceptional athlete. Makhachev has purpose, and purpose is the guiding light that we all need when things get tough. It's his why, and if you understand your why, the how becomes easy. Now, you all know I love a little bit of beef with my fights, as in drama. Nutritionally, I'm vegan. Narratively, I'm a big old carnivore. And the Mokaev Durden fight is exactly the juicy, bloody morsel, flesh morsel I was looking for. After winning his last fight, Durden got on the mic and made a fucked up statement about sending his opponent back to China, which he later apologised for, but the damage was done, and one of the many people that had something to say about said statement was Mokaev. He said Durden has the wrong mentality and he's gonna smash him and make him retire. He also called him old, and as someone older, I'd like to say, how dare you? How dare you? That was a personal attack and I felt it.
I just wanna lie.
Both the bookies and myself are backing Mokaev for the win. He has not only the Dagestani spirit and skill behind him, but I think that Durden will be looking to wrestle.
Don't wanna put in work, now you just wanna ball. Got Louis bags with no money in them. Bigger the lie, the harder they...
Where Mokaev can definitely hang.
Fast route, for me it's always been a cash route. Bag route, spend some money, switch a piece of cash out. Always been a stand-up guy, never back down. Curry's on my team and got some pack outs. Went from MIA to LA on the run like I don't got an estate.
But I believe that Mokaev has the better striking and a height advantage. I don't believe that. Well, I do, but it's a fact. Mokaev is just so well-rounded. His last 6 fights have been 2 KOs, 2 submissions, 2 decisions.
I went from LA to the A on the run, you can tell where I stay. Counting all this paper I chase, no sleep, call me jet lag, baby. Counting all this paper I chase, no sleep, call me...
But I think we're looking at an early submission win for Mokaev. Of course, the whole UFC London card is stacked. The talent coming out of this small island. But I'm pretty much going to stop here for this video. I am excited to see what Paddy gives us in his second outing into the octagon. Another smart fighter who took his time getting to the UFC, did it on his own terms and only signed on the dotted line when the stars had all aligned for him. Beyond that, I always love watching Aspinall fight. At the time of recording, we're not sure whether Volkov is going to make it into the UK. But Aspinall says, give a shit. Fight anyone, mate. Fight anyone. And I think Nathaniel Wood is kicking us off on the prelims, which just goes to show the wealth of talent that's coming out of the UK these days, which is something to be hyped about. Let me know which UFC London fight you're most excited to see and where you'll be watching it. You want to come around mine? And I will link the Dagestani warrior video for you because I know you're interested. I know I've piqued your interest.